Little mouse over there. You're actually a huge mouse. You're probably a forest mouse. What are you doing in here? I wanted to put my stuff in here. But if you live here, it means I need a lid for my stuff. I think you're kind of dumb because there's a hole right there to your right. Go in the hole, man. I don't really have any food for you. Did I just move your house? He crawled up to me. He was like right there. Like, are you my friend? Or maybe you're drunk or you have toxoplasmosis and I'm a giant cat. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm thinking about batting you around, but I think that's the devil. Or you're afraid of me or something. But I was going to move all this. I had a feeling that you were in here before approaching this place. I knew there would be a little mouse in my house. Now I'm going to be a eagle in your steeple, you know what I'm saying? How do I get you to not be here? Or can we share the space without you biting me? Or getting into all my things? Because I have stuff that you would love to build a house in that I do not want you to build a house in, mouse. And it's going to get very cold. So we're both going to be here hanging out. We're both going to be in this house, mouse. It's going to be you and me both. Little mouse in my house. You seem afraid of me. I probably would kill you. I've been through a lot, mouse. I've been through a lot, mouse. And can we just hang out? My backpack is really heavy, bro. I'd like to hang out in here. I'm gonna crawl in. Don't attack me, mouse. Are there any other mice? No. Okay, he's on. This is pretty cool. I'm sure a lot of you that watch know where this is. How do y'all feel about me winterizing this shit? I don't think it would be hard to get the mouse back out. I think I just need to lay some plywood over the top of this. And it doesn't lock. I'm not going to wind up locked in here or anything. Unless it's a heavy, heavy snowstorm. But it gets the wind out. This could be my emergency shelter if when I'm trying to be out in the woods and it gets way too cold, I can come in here, run my Mr. Buddy heater. It's metal, which I think means that if I were to run a Mr. Buddy heater, it would conduct the heat and get the heat, so it would melt the ice and then it would make an igloo. And then once it makes an igloo, that wouldn't be that bad. It ain't that bad. Let's rip a vape in my new house. I bought a pack of emergency menthol American spirits because the plan is to get off this vape and then try once or twice a week, if I feel like it, to have one cigarette. Feel like shit. and then quit. And then I should be going, hopefully I have work. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm a schizo. But the world is spiritual. You know what they said? I went to the opera, and they said at the opera that the daughter of the man who composed that opera decades ago, who is now passed, she says that sometimes when they perform the opera, she looks over and sees him standing there in spirit. And the director of the opera, this bigwig, goes, some way of the grand universe and its mysterious ways makes that happen. And he looked up at me, and my motto when I was 17 was make it happen by any means. So, not to brag, but this entire town is named after all the people in my life, and my boss has the same name as my ex-girlfriend, and now I live on a street with the same last name as my ex-girlfriend, and then my new boss has the same last name as my grandfather, and same middle name as my other grandfather. And then in the building, the people's names are the same as my aunt, my grandfather, my cousin. And then we have Casey down at Capstone, and then Ray next door, and then now we have Mr. Crow that moved in, but he won't be there long. So it's all a test, I guess, to see what I'll do. And at the very least, I'll be kicking this mouse out of its house, but it looks like the mouse needs a place to burrow anyway, or it's going to freeze to death. That mouse is not going to be living here. When it gets cold in the winter, cold wind blows, it's not coming in and staying here. It probably lives in this thing, which I will carry over there so it can see it. And then at the very least, I'll put my stuff here so nobody comes and bothers it. And I know that it's safe while I figure out how to make couple thousand, at least $1,000 for a winter beater. And then once I got that winter beater, then I'll have a safe-ish place to be. And I won't need to ask people for rides. And then I can get around. And that will be my base camp and my nest until I get a better car, bigger car, or more money to get to Hawaii. Once court is over, passport to Ireland, work on homesteads, design my clothes, make my merch, make my music, work on my short films, my animated series, write my scripts, and keep it going one day after the other. Thanks for watching.